Alright, for this project what you're going to need are these items here. As you can see, there's not a whole lot there. You need a plastic puller, a hard plastic puller, and you need this so you don't scratch your vehicle up when you go ahead and start pulling things apart. You're also going to need an 8mm socket, and I'll show you what you're going to use this for during the installation. Again, the other socket that you're going to need is a 10mm socket, and this 10mm socket is probably the first thing that you're going to use during this installation process. So we're going to start off with this, and I'm going to walk you through the first item that you're going to pull apart on that Ford Explorer. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take off this side of the back. This is important in order to get to all the underneath of the compartment. So we need that 10mm bolt there. So 10mm bolt, you hit 4 of these bolts. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You just go ahead and take them off. Now this is good if you have someone helping you with this, especially this part of it, because one of the things that you are going to do, you have to open the glass, and in order to open the glass you have to press that button, and I'll show you in a minute. Once you take that off, this is the underneath where you open the glass. You want to be able to go ahead and pop that open, but before you do so, okay, just want to show you the connection. The connection is right here that you're going to take off, but we need to open the glass, the top part of the glass first, in order to get this going. So I'm going to just go ahead and move this down so the glass doesn't pop all the way up, and then I'm going to open it up. So now the glass is open, and then I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the harness there, the Y harness. So disconnect that and then put that away. Alright, so folks, so this is the part where you're definitely going to have to, you're going to need a second hand. You're going to try to pry open all of this to get this underside off, and this is where this comes in handy. There's about 8 of these connectors that are around, and what you want to do, you want to just pull down through and pry all the way around, get it loose. Once you get it loose all the way through, you're going to kind of pull out. It's going to take a little muscle to kind of get it through, but it should come right out. Go in here. There you go. So once you do that and this comes off, this whole thing comes off, you just go ahead and set it. So as you can see, what you have on the top, or in this case on the bottom, you have these little clips. You get these little clips that are on there. You have 3 on the right side, and you have about 5 on the left side. And on the bottom, you have about 8 of these little clips all the way through. So you want to be able to pry under and get these little connectors off, so you can go ahead and take this off. Alright, once you take this off, then we're going to start with the wiring. Alright, so once that that area is off, that plastic that you're seeing on the bottom, you know, at some point you have to get behind that plastic so you can go ahead and run the camera. I'm going to go ahead and close this so you can see exactly what we're going to do with that camera. So we're going to close it all the way down, and I already closed the glass just to kind of keep that, so you're going to have to probably get that glass open. It's not completely shut, so once it's all the way down, we're going to reopen that glass. Next thing you want to do is you know, take this driver's side rear light off. This way you can get access to the brake light, and there are 2 screws that are on here. I already started taking it off, so you'll unscrew it and it should come right out. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. You unscrew those. Once you take those out, the light should really pop, come right out. So it comes out like that. Now, one of the things that I realized with the camera, the backup camera, the wire that came with it, for some reason, the wire that came with it was not long enough. So this is the wire they gave you. Okay, it's pretty short, so it's not going to go around the body of the trunk very well. So what I ended up doing, I ended up, running out to AutoZone and pick up some 18 gauge wire. I've got two of them, one black and one red, so I can go ahead and solder these wires to make the continuation connection all the way to the brake light. So that's something that you're going to have to want to do. You can certainly spool it like I did here through the body, and I'm going to tie it in with the existing wire all around to make it nice and neat. When you do that, you're going to get your pry bar, and you're going to pry open this side. Let me get around here so you can get a better view at it. So you're going to want to take this off the side, and that comes off pretty good, pretty easily once you get it going. So it's pretty slack. So that comes off, and it's held in place with those two clips on the side and two on the other side, so a total of 4 clips. And then what I ended up doing, I ended up taking this top off also, and had the same idea. It comes off pretty easily, just like so, and that you can put to the side. You can put that to the side, and then I went ahead and spooled the wire through here, through the wire support or harness there, and got all the way down through the body and make it nice and neat. So when you go ahead and put this stuff back on, it looks nice and flush and nice and neat, look very professional. So again, that's the wire that I went ahead and spooled through the back, and I'm going to solder this side to the piece that's from the backup camera. All tucked in nice and neatly, and I'm going to go back. This is where I did my solder to kind of connect the wire from the camera that was short, so the extension. I'm going to go back and put nice electrical tape over that to make it nice and even and flush. So the wire, as you can see, everything looks nice and neat. It's not completely packed up, but it's getting there. And as you can see from the areas that I pulled off to put the wires behind, it's all tucked away back where it was. And if you go on the other side, it just kind of looks really neat. And this is the underside of where I had to take off to run the wires under, so you don't see any wires when you're finished. And then as far as for the light, you want to connect the camera light, the positive, to the positive feed on the reversed. So when you put the reverse on, you want to make sure that white light, that's where you put the positive and you put the negative on there. I went ahead and kind of spliced the wires from the camera into it. In my case, or in this case for the Ford Explorer, it's the bottom one. So I just put red to the red and black to the black, positive and negative. Okay, so once you're finished with that, you go ahead and put your light back on with the 2 screws that's provided. Once you get that all buttoned up, then we're ready to go ahead and run the wires from the radio all the way, and I'm going to show you that. We're going to go ahead and put the panels and put that through, and we're going to make sure we go ahead and follow these wires all the way through back, and it's going to go into this connector here, which is where you see the actual video when you put the car in reverse. Okay? Lead to the reverse when you put the car in reverse, so the camera goes ahead and display. So what you want to do, you want to get your pry bar, or that little plastic bar, and to go ahead and take the sides off. I went ahead and already did that just for video purposes, so I took this off. This tool is very important. You don't want to use any kind of hard metal screwdriver. It'll probably scratch up the surface. So I did this. So what you want to do, you want to take this unit off. Once you take that off, you get access to the radio. Obviously, this video is not obviously for installing a radio, so I'm going to show you how to hook up the camera. So behind here, when you pull this out after you already take your screws out, I went ahead and spooled my wire to get access to the camera, and on here in the back of it there's an actual wire that's coming from the radio, and if you see that, it says camera. So that's that yellow one that's currently not used, but when we're finished it would be in use. So you go ahead and take the top off, take that off, and I went ahead and already spooled my wire and fed it through. So here it is. The wire is right here, and this wire plugs in this area here. To run the wire from the radio to the backup camera, what you want to make sure you do after you wired it into the radio, you want to be able to spool it. And what I've done, I kind of pry this part open, this area here, and my wire is I kind of wedged it right onto there. The black wire there, you see those wires kind of neatly tucked away. So that's connected to the radio, and then I kind of went all the way on this side. We go around, went all the way around, and I pull this apart, connected onto here also. See my black wire, and I go all the way through here, follow it on there here, pull this apart and get it between the wheel well, and then kind of put it all the way to the back and connect it to the wire, or the wire to the camera, the backup camera. So there it is, folks. Tucking the wire nice and neatly. When you finish, go ahead and put all that area back. You'll get a nice clean connection. Alright folks, moments of truth. Here it is right here. Okay everyone, this is the final test after the wire's already in, everything is already set up. This is just to kind of check to make sure the backup camera works. So let's go ahead and put it into reverse and see what happens. There you go. So as you can see, I'm in reverse and everything looks good. Perfect. And hopefully that helped you, and hopefully it'll help you get your backup camera and I know my daughter likes it. And thanks for watching.